I'm Ashton Addison from Blockwest Capital for Investment Pitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Lucky Uwakwe, core team member of Wakanda Inu. Lucky, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on.
Yeah, thank you, Ashton. And it's a nice one being on your show today.
Yeah, I would love to kick off the conversation. The crypto in 2021 brought a lot of new people in, a lot of great new projects and new communities in new locations around the world, really uniting the world as well. And I think some of the Inu communities are some of the strongest that we actually have in crypto. I would love to kick off our conversation with just hearing a little bit from you about the Wakanda Inu project, and then we can sort of dive into the details.
Okay, so Wakanda Inu is a decentralized meme coin project, right? Originally has started from the concept of the likes of Doge and Shiba Inu, but we've grown beyond the point of just being a meme coin. So a meme coin that is, first of all, decentralized, second of all, having a direct use case, thirdly, growing a much more huge communities across the world without necessarily focusing on having a central entity calling some sort of certain short, but with the full benefit of decentralization from the aspect of the community. That's one of the things we've been able to do from the angle of Wakanda Inu. We're more like the third force within the meme coin movement. Of course, people would always agree with the rest of the world that Dogecoin is the first force. Shiba Inu we'll call the second force. And I think the third force from the meme coin movement is Wakanda Inu. And that's because we have been able to redefine the narrative. Everybody agrees that meme coins are purely joke or for fun, but we've realized that with the concept of building communities and with the concept of gathering the most important part of any product together, which is humans. I think humans are the most integral part of any product. No matter how beautiful your product is, if you do not have humans and the communities around them, that makes them almost totally irrelevant to a large extent. And we have seen that we can redefine meme from the aspect of creating a use case for them and not just for joke and having no direct use case. That's what we've been able to do from Wakanda Inu team.
Great intro. And I completely agree with you 100%, Lucky, about the humans. A company and a community and DAOs are just a bunch of people getting together for a common purpose. Right. And
absolutely,
it's great to see people getting behind these meme coins, even if at first glance it doesn't seem, it seems a lot different than a traditional protocol or like a software as a service business or something. It's different, but it actually serves a very strong purpose. And
cool.
Some of these communities like Dogecoin and Shiba have really exploded and in their own little unique ways. And I'm curious, with that sort of backing on that strength of the communities with Wakanda Inu, how is the community differentiated and why do you consider it the best meme coin community in this meme coin ecosphere?
Okay, so now looking from the way the team have been structured, like, for example, we have a diverse set of teams scattered across the world who came together to put in our resources and effort to build. But we never built from the angle of the perspective of, giving anybody from the core team member any sort of incentive. It will interest you to know that upon the time we went public for the first time, each and every of the core team member participated in this project just like any other person. There was nothing like team allocation. There was nothing like anything set aside for the team. Even me as a person, I purchased like every other person, meaning if I believe in what I'm building, I should be able to put my money where my mouth is. And that's exactly what each and every team member have done. You don't have most projects out there within the crypto space or the blockchain space where you have a team member who wants to participate with his own financial resources. I cited the fact that initially we were willing to take that responsibility of building and then allowing the world to now participate alongside with us. We also took that responsibility of saying on the day of the public launch, we will participate like every other person, meaning it's totally fair for everybody. And our Wakanda Inu allocation that we have today from the perspective of any member of the core team or the community is the same as the way any other person would have purchased in any public exchange. That's exactly what we've done. And that it's transparent for anybody to audit. It's transparent for anybody to see. By the way, we also went further to get our static audits done. We felt like even though we are a meme coin, because we want to take things very seriously, going from the aspect of meme, all the necessary thing that is required for either a DAO or the things that are required for most protocol related projects, we had to do all of them without necessarily letting anyone slide. That's one important thing we've been able to do. Another important thing we've done from the aspect of what makes us stand out is the fact that our team are not necessarily concentrated or centered around one person calling the shot. No offense to the likes of Dodge, but we know the people who sometimes when they call the shot, Dodge will probably do some good movement. We are hoping someday we will become we get very much more stronger from the aspect of the Dodge community. But we've been able to decentralize and disseminate ourselves across the world, that even in the most remotest part of the world or the continent, you likely would hear Wakanda Inu. And that's exactly one of the things that make us stand out. So we're ensuring that people who have never heard about blockchain before, people who have never heard about crypto before, for the first time in the history of humanity, they can hear them in the most remotest part of the continent. And we have chosen to come from a grassroots related movement. We're not coming from the aspect of just incentivizing people who are already within the crypto space, but rather we're coming from the aspect of getting those people who have never been on board as regards to anything crypto. I remember seeing a lot of testimonials of people or comments coming from people saying the first time they're getting crypto, their first crypto is Wakanda. And who would have believed that the first time you were entering crypto, you want to buy meme coin? But here we are, Wakanda is making that possible.
Amazing, Lucky. Just the way that you're talking about the growth of the community is like gets me so excited. You know, I can hear the passion. I can hear the passion in your voice about why that you have put a lot of meaning. There is a lot of meaning behind this community, and you checked all the boxes there as well. You're talking about fair launch. Making sure that it's not imbalanced from some founders of some sort holding all the coins, and it's distributed, fair, totally community based, as well transparent and audited. If you're going to be a meme coin, you might as well be the most secure, transparent, best meme coin that there is. So I really appreciate you bringing all of that together.
Absolutely. And if I would add again, upon our launch, we were able to do some of the most craziest number of X, even though I'm not necessarily coming from the perspective of how many X have we done from the time of launch to this day and all that. We were having some sort of heavy, massive growth. You can imagine that within the first 2-3 weeks of our launch, we're already hitting 40X from the initial public sale figure. But while we had that, we had this clamor from the community who wanted some modifications to what we had done, where the amount of token that were earmarked for the sake of building the project going forward, they felt like that amount it's a bit much, and they asked that we burn them. 2 weeks into the project's launch, people asked for it. And we didn't hesitate from the perspective of core team member, because we believe that we are building a decentralized meme coin that gives the people the opportunity to have a voice and a say in the entire team. You won't believe that 2 weeks into our project launch, even after having done over 30X from the current price of our launch, we are willing to burn over $150 million worth of a token. Just because the community were willing to ask for they were willing to ask for this, and they had the reasons, and the reasons were legit, and we had no choice but to listen to the entire community. That's one of the things that make us stand out. We didn't have to wait for when some sort of central body or some sort of a stronger holders make some shot. If the community wants it, that's exactly what they're asking for. Just give it to them.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, that's incredible. Burning 150 million. And just dollars. If the community agrees, then community votes. They control the project as a community. So super Absolutely. Cool. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the coin itself. From what I saw, it's already trading on a lot of different platforms, and the volume seems pretty high. Is the actual movement of the coin and liquidity, is that all continuing to grow?
Okay, so apart from the fact that we have, yes, so many exchanges that have listed our token. In fact, we had one of the early people come on board who were willing to list us even for free. Initially, we thought that since we're just a meme coin, it will probably be difficult for us to list in some certain exchange, and people will always ask us for listing fee. We're surprised that sometimes people even list us, we don't even know they've listed us, and they just tweet about it. It's from their tweets we get to realize that we're listed on this exchange or that exchange. So people actually, and of course, we're making more efforts to even go into much more bigger exchanges. For example, the top 3 exchange are places we're looking out to go into. If Shiba Inu can find its way to Coinbase and that of Binance, we believe ours is already in the pipeline, and we're working towards ensuring that happens sooner than we expect. But for us, beyond just growth around being listed in those exchanges, we're building all the direct use cases or products or solutions that people can really utilize and spend the Wakanda Inu token. Yes, it's a meme, but this is a meme that everybody's willing to accept. This is a meme that have a direct use case. From the angle of our NFT marketplace, we understand that the concept of NFTs is quite hot, and it's something that's trending almost everywhere. Metaverse is now a big thing that even centralized companies are willing to go into. But we have looked at it from the angle of, aside the fact that NFT gives people the ownership or right to certain ownership of different things, even though images or pictures or art have become the primary use case of NFTs, even though there are other use cases actually beyond that. We believe that can people also be able to lay claim to the actual piece of artwork if they choose to. For example, I have decided to buy one of the NFTs that depicts either any or beautiful piece of art. But aside the fact that the blockchain have been able to record and allow me to claim ownership to it, what if I really want it from the actual artist? Can I be able to lay claim to that for a physical one, and in return give back the ownership and collect the actual product? Is it possible? We're looking at integrating that kind of situations because we know that art are something that is beautiful, and everybody wants to, one way or the other, have a piece of this new modern type of art. But there are still people that are out there who would really appreciate that maybe once in a while, can they lay claim? The same way I would have been able to exchange my Bitcoin for actual fiat at any time I so wish. Can I be able to exchange my NFT-based token for the actual piece of art itself? I don't know. But as of today, we don't necessarily have that. So we're looking at, can we be able to give people that option if they so wish, whereby we're able to onboard creators into our ecosystem, but these creators will be willing at any point in time to reproduce the exact same copy of what they have done in the digital form on our ecosystem. In exchange for that, people return back their own ownership rights, and they can have that some sort of way, but in a much more transparent manner. We're looking at that kind of situations for people within our ecosystem. So this creates a use case for Wakanda Inu token. That's one. Another thing, again, we're also working on is from the angle of beside the fact that we're working on the NFT marketplace, we're looking at the Wakanda Inu labs. This is where we're able to create or incentivize developers and people to build solutions within their ecosystem such that they'll begin to support the use of Wakanda Inu token in their platform. Let's say I'm a developer, I have a community, and the essence of my project is maybe focused around payments for flights. Is there a way that I can get some sort of what we call incentive for developers to build their solutions for flights? But in return for that, they also integrate the use of Wakanda Inu token among the ecosystem of tokens they support. More like being able to build, we allow you to build whatever you want to build, and you add Wakanda Inu token. And in exchange for this, we'll provide you some grants and incentives such that you're able to build without the hustle or worry around how can I raise funds for this, because of course Wakanda Inu is public and is tradable for other stable coins as said today. So that's another thing we intend to do, and this is creating huge value or huge sort of use case for our token. And another part of things we also are looking at doing aside the NFTs and also the Wakanda Inu lab we want to ensure that the DAO really go into full effect, even much more than the way it has been. The last time I said we burned $150 million worth of our token because the community asked for it. It will interest you to know that the community only clamored for it without necessarily having the full DAO in operation. That's to tell you how we are open to listen to our community. Now, in 2022, we expect that the DAO become a clear use case where people will be able to put their mouth, put their voice through the use of the token itself. And being able to do this, it creates another use case for our product. That's in another way. Of course, we intend to create the Wakanda swap. This, I think, is a bit peculiar or common among some meme coins, for example, the likes of Shiba Inu and all that. Creating swap also enable us to be able to have a much more better use case around what we're building with Wakanda Inu, and that is coming pretty fast because it's already in the developmental stage. Apart from that, the final part is, can people be able to farm Wakanda Inu token just like they would farm every other DeFi? Because some of the core team members from our project are coming from the aspect of some background in the area of finance, in the area of DeFi. So these specialties and expertise from that angle will enable us create the DeFi sort of model for our token. And at the end of the day, that's creating a much more robust ecosystem.
Amazing, Lucky. So much that your team is working on. As a decentralized team, it's great to hear.
Thanks so much.
For all of these updates, I want to continue to follow along as they come out, and where are they posted for the community to get involved and follow along? Where's the best place?
Okay, so we have a very huge, robust Telegram community where our people are always able to drop their views and opinions and all that. We also have our Twitter community where people are able to reach out to any of our moderators who are always online 24/7. We also have a medium for which people can also write to us, whether they're writing to us through a medium, whether they're writing to us through any of our social channel, from the Instagram, from Twitter, down to Telegram. They can also even shoot us some email, of course, in the Wakanda Inu community. But I think the quickest and the fastest way to reach us is via the popular ones like Medium and Twitter. These are the most popular ones.
Sounds great. I will leave
Telegram and Twitter.
Links. I'll leave the Wakanda Inu site, Medium, Twitter, Telegram especially as well, all in the description box below for the viewers to follow along with the project and get involved if they'd like. And I appreciate you taking the time, Lucky, to come on to talk about it. So many great things. I had no idea how amazing the project was until you explained it, and you did such a great job doing it. So thank you so much for taking the time to come on and talk about Wakanda Inu. And I'm looking forward to following up in the coming months when all of these updates are put into play and the project continues to grow.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks so much, Ashton. And I would let the community know that for the NFT marketplace and the situation I mentioned around where people can have the option of, in case they want to exchange the actual NFTs for the real piece of art, that should be live in less than 3 weeks from now.
Amazing. We'll include all those links in there for people to follow along with that. I'm looking forward to the release of the NFT marketplace. Thank you so much, and let's follow up in the near future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I look forward to those who want to buy the African piece of art, even in our ecosystem.